Let's talk about books. This is Book Talk. I'm your host, Anthony Moirore. At Book Talk, we have authors come and tell us about their books. And we've been having some interesting books, wonderful books by wonderful authors. And when I say wonderful authors, today we have an author who is known as Jim Price. He's gonna be here and you're gonna love it because he's authored a book, a wonderful book that is known as, let me get the name of the book. It's known as The Adventures of Harold from the Hood, a trip to the park. So stay tuned, be with us here. If you have a question, ask it. If you have a comment, we love feedback. And please remember to share this video with all your friends because everybody needs to hear about the books that we are talking about. And without taking one more minute, I'm going to ask you to join me as we go together to meet our guest today, Jim. Are you ready? Here we go. Hello, Jim.
Hello, how you doing today? It's such a blessing, Anthony. Such a blessing to be a part of your book talk today.
Yeah, it's such a blessing to have you here on this show.
Thank you for
Thank you for coming. Yeah, we got a bit of a noise on the microphones, which I want to believe that is going to be fixed. If you can maybe please check on the settings and check echo cancellation or something like that, noise reduction, and let's see whether we're going to fix it as we get going. And everybody who's tuned in, I see we have some people tuned in already and they're saying it's glitching and I don't know. Okay, we're going to fix it. We're going to fix it. It doesn't always happen.
yeah.
So, where are you?
I'm in Springfield, Massachusetts,
Wonderful.
USA.
I think we fixed it. So, how's the weather where you are?
Actually, it's quite. We just had 90-degree weather yesterday, so it is getting warmer. We are coming over here. We're coming into the summer months, so we have those times a year where it gets into the heat waves, and it's like 101 degrees and 103 degrees, and it's very hot.
That's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So, Vasily, hi, how are you, Vasily, and all the others who are watching? And Vasily, Little Stitch, you are watching, you are there. Please, you said that the sound was not good. Tell us now whether you're hearing us loud and clear as we keep moving. And as we are welcoming the summer months together with author Jim Price. And it's good that you're in a place where you enjoy summer. And you go to the beach, you enjoy swimming, I hope.
Yes, I do. I do. I take my daughter to the beach. My daughter's like 12. So, we'll go to the beach and she loves getting in the water. I like getting in the water, especially when it's real hot out. I definitely enjoy time on the beach.
Yeah, I do too. Where I am in Athens, Greece, for your information. We have some wonderful beach.
Hmm.
And yeah, I like going to swim too. Now, it's I saw your book and I got interested in finding out more about it. It has a beautiful cover. That's the cover of it. Harold, the Adventures of Harold from the Hood, a trip to the park. And we're going to be discussing it today in this episode. But even before we go there, I would like to know what is it that you do?
So I'm a school counselor. I work in the public school systems, and I
Mm-hmm.
middle school kids. So that right there brings me a lot of inspiration, a lot of material for books and things like that to see the kids interacting with each other and going about their day during the school day and stuff. So they bring a lot of inspiration in terms of me writing the books that I have written and stuff like that, working with the public schools with the middle school kids.
Wow. And you talk of books, so it means it's not only that one that I saw. How many have you written so far?
So far, there's been three in my social skill building series. I've gotten to three so far.
Oh, okay. Yeah, keep writing, keep
Yeah.
writing. We need those books, and especially when you're focusing on the young souls there who are growing, because it's an important part of life. The young ones. And you are the best place to tell us about that because you've got the inspiration and you want to give back to them.
Yes.
So, what was that deep thing that brought the adventures of Harold from the Wood? Yeah, you said you've got the inspirations, but there could have been a specific thing, a trigger that got you into this direction of focusing on Harold
Yeah.
or are the yeah.
So I mean, it started years ago when I'm a school counselor. So with school counseling, you have to do social skills group with the kids. So,
Mm-hmm,
many years ago, I was working doing social skills group with elementary kids, but it was in a behavioral school, like a crisis intervention behavioral school, and
mm-hmm,
kids had a hard time focusing and on the social lessons and stuff. So one day, I decided to try a different approach, and I brought a snail puppet to the social group and named it Harold from the Hood, and utilize it in a way to model behaviors and things like that, and go through the social lessons. And it actually helped because then the kids were focused, able to stay on task with our social lesson, and they got a chance to be entertained by Harold from the Hood. It was like a snail puppet that I would, make voices with and stuff like that. So the kids loved it. And all these years later, when the lockdown happened, the pandemic happened, and the lockdown was happening, everybody was at home, and it came to me. I was like, maybe I could turn this into like a social skill building series. And so then I
mm-hmm.
began to etch out the framework for the first book. And then I got to completion what I felt was like a completed version of the first book. And then I had to work on trying to work on the publishing side of it. And it was fortunate that I had some people that my sister that I was connected with, she was connected with some people that were in the publishing business and stuff. So I was able to connect with them, and then before you know it, I had my first book out. And it was like, wow,
Yeah, and it's a beautiful one.
thank you.
And I want to be. I haven't gone in deeper into the pages, but I believe it's got some beautiful illustrations because the young ones love illustrations.
Yes, yes, I did that
So
purposely.
who did, who did the illustrations for you?
My publisher helped me with the illustrations and stuff because I'm not really an artist, but I do like to make sure, because I'm a doctoral student too at American International College here. So I do a
Okay.
lot of research. So a lot of the book content was also based on research in terms of what kids gravitate to in terms of color schemes and wording and things of that nature. So I incorporate
Hmm.
a lot of that into the book as well. So I mean, I think being in the doctoral program helped to steer my creativity in terms of making things vibrant and colorful, things that would grab the attention of kids. So even if they're younger kids, they might you can read the story to the kids, but it will also keep their attention. So
Yeah, yeah, it's good. Yeah, touch the sound where you touched before.
oh,
Yeah, because it's got some scratchy sound, but I believe it's gonna be okay. So, how long did it take you to write the book?
took me that first book took me like 7 months to write
Mm-hmm.
before I came to the point where I felt like it was complete.
Mm-hmm.
7 months.
And when we talk of the first book, the ones that I've just shown, is it the first book or this is the most current one?
That's the first book. Yeah, Harold from the Hood
Ah,
to
this
the Park is the first book.
okay. Yeah. And maybe I'm curious, and maybe the person who's listening is also curious to know what is it exactly in there. If you can give us a picture of what we are going to find in there once we go.
So the first book is actually based on accepting others' differences and diversity and inclusion. So
Mm-hmm.
in that story, it's particularly about Carol going through the rigors of trying to find a friend to play with and things of that nature, and being turned down because he's looked at as being different from the people he was trying to play with. But if he works through that to get to the point where he's able to find someone to play with who doesn't care that he's a snail, who doesn't care that he's different. They don't care about that. So accepting other differences is the main social lesson in that book. The second
Mm-hmm.
is mainly about friends like different things, and the concept behind that is having kids gravitate to understand that they can like different things. They can try
Mm-hmm.
different things, new activities and things like that, and that's okay. If somebody else likes something different from you, that's okay. Being able to share, being able to understand that sharing is a good thing, and getting along and things of that nature. And the third book is basically about um, healthy eating habits. It's fun time, lunchtime. It's about healthy eating habits, exercise, and the importance of using coping and strategies in terms of social interactions with each other. So
Mm-hmm.
all of them are part of my social skills series.
Okay. And there's something maybe I would also want to know from you. Being in the US, and I'm not there, and many of the people who are listening could not be there from there also. And there's a lot that we hear happening there. And could there have been some experiences that you went through as you are growing up that could have also influenced you into moving in this direction and this interest?
Absolutely. I mean, growing up as a kid, I had my um, interactions with just situations of discrimination and things of that nature. So I mean,
Hmm.
that definitely developed some of my understanding of coming into the book series, saying about accepting others' differences, diversity and inclusion, how that's a good thing when people can get along and have unity and things like that. So I think some of my growing up and dealing with discrimination in certain levels definitely had an influence on how my series, the direction that my series has gone in, and I always hold true to that, and I don't ever forget the experiences that I've had. I always, incorporated those things to actually make me grow stronger, to make me be more aware and more, understanding of my own self and my abilities and things like that, and and a lot of other people are going through the same thing too, especially in the United States, all across the United States. We've seen so many things happening in terms of the past few years, the pandemic, with the movements and things, and the protests and all that stuff. So I mean, it's been I totally my series is definitely based on trying to show that about unity and diversity and understanding and accepting others' differences in a wholehearted way, which in a sense would make the world a better place overall. If we were able to unify and have things be in that way.
Yeah, that's a message that we should get to hear.
Hmm.
And now and again, it should be repeated to every person out there. And in the series, I want to imagine that because, like everything else that we do, is not always smooth sailing. What are the challenges that you may have gone through in writing your series, selling it there, out there, promoting it? What could have been some of the challenges, and especially focusing on the story, on the ideas that you present in the books?
So I mean, I think that was the thing, especially with the first book, because I didn't know anything about the business side of anything. I didn't know about promoting. I really didn't know anything. I just had got to this point where, oh, mama, and I have this book now. I have my first book, and it's
Mhm.
like, now what? What is the next step? What do I do next? Like in terms of promotion and things of that nature. So that was a beginning step. And of course, I would confide in other people in the industry and things like that who are also like children's book authors that I've got to connect with and ask them advice on how to promote and marketing and things of that nature. So I would take a lot of that advice in terms of like, promoting on social platforms and stuff. Joining book groups and things like that, promoting the book through those avenues too. So that helped a lot. But at that same time, you're still navigating the business side of everything, and sometimes it would be like, okay, what I don't want to make a misstep. I want to make sure
Yeah.
whatever decision I'm making is the right decision and the right choice. And I mean, um, I guess from what I've learned from those other authors, children book authors who gave me advice and stuff like that, and was always supportive from the beginning, it turned into something because as time went on, I was able to um, get a broader platform, and then I got a couple endorsement from celebrities and stuff. So it like really like triggered a snowball effect almost in a sense, and then that's when everything kind of expanded for me.
Okay, that's wonderful. And about the content, the message, I see that is being embraced by a lot of people, and it's good. And we wish that many more people get to learn the social skills, because these days children are just playing around. They are playing games all day. They are watching television. And then they forget the values that we should build. And so when you come back to give such lessons in such a beautiful book, we appreciate you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. That's what it's about. Trying to inspire the youth to be
Yeah,
the best versions of themselves that they can be, and
yeah,
understanding self love is the way to go.
sure, sure. Yeah, touch again the button, please. Because it's again. And yeah, we appreciate that. And what's the next thing that you're going, the next book or the next idea that you want to put out there?
I actually been working on some ideas.
Hmm.
Maybe I was thinking about maybe I'll touch upon like maybe dealing with frustration, dealing with anger. That would be one of the social lessons in the future upcoming book. Dealing with frustration, dealing with anger. Um, I know depression and stuff is a big thing now these days. Maybe something around dealing with anxiety and things of that nature. So I want to try to make it a well-rounded series where it's like we have a lesson that can help a lot of different children across the world. So I mean, I'm kind of getting in the framework of that, trying to put those ideas together. But I mean, I'm right now. I've been so busy with finish up the doctorate program. It's like consumed a lot of my time. But I mean, I do have a couple of things in mind in terms of future editions of of the series and things like that. I do have those things in mind.
Okay, wonderful. And where can people get this book, and how can they connect with you?
So I do have my website, which is jimpricebooks.education.
Mm-hmm.
jimpricebooks.education. And on the website, you'll see all my books. I have coloring books. I have put all my feature interviews on there. I have a podcast show that's based around education. So all my material is there, and you can just go to the website and learn more about me as well as an author and things of that nature too.
They're beautiful. So, to all those who are listening, you can go to jimpricebooks.education, get to see the book that we are talking about today, and also connect with Jim. That's beautiful. And I think we'll end at this point, and we may come back sometime later to talk about more about the book, or maybe the second book in the series, and we'll see about what it is, and maybe the third book, and we'll see what's there, and get to spread the message a bit more.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. So before we go, what would you like to tell someone? I mean, some words that you'd like us to keep thinking even after we are through with this show?
I mean, I always want to say I also, like to inspire people, families too. Family, just not children, but families too, and people. A lot of people in the world are dealing with all kind of trauma in their life, unhealed traumas in their lives, and things of that nature. And I always believe that I spread this message about believing in yourself, having self love, having self worth, understanding that you are a valuable person, you are a valuable child. And I always push that message to inspire people to be the best versions of themselves and to work toward that. Every day is a new day to begin a new beginning of things. So whatever happened yesterday, you can build on that. You can't do anything about the past, but you can always do something about the present and build it on the future. And that's a message that I always bring towards for everybody.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Jim, for sharing this with us. We appreciate you very
I
much.
appreciate being on the show too as well, Book Talks.
Yeah. So that's about it for today at Book Talk. And until next time, we are signing off. I've been your host, Anthony Morore, and together with our guest today, author Jim Price, we're saying Bye for now. Bye.